So, will Toyota or Subaru ever make one of these cars, or one of the newer GR86 or the new BRZ, with a turbo from factory? The simple answer, no. No, they won't. Ever. If you ask me, that's some bullshit. Now, I've been wondering this very question for a very long time as to why they never brought these cars out with a turbo from factory, or why they have no plans to put one in and give these cars more power. And basically, it's pretty much because of pricing and weight. That's it. Pricing and weight. So, in order to find out the answer to the question that myself and probably a lot of other people have as to why they don't want to turbo these cars or put more power into them or whatever, well, I've done some research. I found out that it's all because of weight and pricing of the actual cars when they come to sell them, and that just seems a bit silly to me, because people love these cars. People absolutely love these cars. People want to buy these cars, especially the newer ones, the GR86 or the new BRZ. People love them, but they don't love the engine. They don't love the power that it has. People want more power out of these cars, and Toyota and Subaru just won't give it to us. Why? So in my search to find answers to the question that I have and any other people have as to why they won't give these cars more power, this is what I discovered. Now, I had to write this down because I'm forgetful as fuck. Right. Here we go. So, Todd Hill is a guy, right? He's an American Subaru car line planning manager in America. Basically, he talked to a car magazine website company thing called Car Buzz, and he said when they asked that very question as to will they ever put a turbo or supercharge the 86 platform or the BRZ platform, in this case because he's the Subaru. And this is exactly what he said word for word. Putting a turbo into the BRZ would change the car way too much, and it will increase the price considerably. We wanted to keep it affordable. It's priced for enthusiasts. A turbo BRZ will become a different car altogether. Adding a turbo to the BRZ will add weight and price. Let's talk about that. So this is the engine in question. It doesn't look like much. Obviously, it's just an engine. It's a Subaru boxer engine. However, there is a very, very smart reason why they chose this engine for this car. And that reason is because it is small, compact, and can be mounted lower on the chassis for a better centre of gravity. Now, if you know anything about cars, you'll know that a better centre of gravity or a lower centre of gravity makes the car more balanced. And that is one of the things which they are amazed about this car, and one of the things that they always claim is an awesome thing about these cars. It's just how well these cars are balanced. They're almost perfect, almost. And I better put that bonnet down because that's blowing about in the wind. Finally, the sun has come out. Finally. It was out this morning and then it went away because all the clouds came over and it became nice and, well, not nice, but all cloudy like that. And it didn't look very good. Whereas now the sun's come out, hopefully it warms up a bit because it's freezing. Now, bearing in mind everything I've just told you about the almost perfectly distributed weight on all four corners and the lower center of gravity because of the small compact engine, that is what they call a driver's car. That's what makes it the driver's car, because it's awesome at cornering, and they never designed these cars to be a straight line car. Toyota and Subaru themselves have said that if they want more power, then they need to find a different car, because this car is not for them. This car is not meant to be fast in a straight line. Hence, they never turboed it. But over the years, when they released new models and updated them and made them newer and everything like that, they have actually updated some of the power issues and have increased performance over time a little bit. So if you've been thinking about getting one of these cars, here's a few things that you might want to know. And again, I wrote them down because I'm forgetful. So they changed a few things from the 2012 model to the 2017 model, all the way up to the GR86. And I'll go over the GR86 in a second, but first let's talk about this model, the 2012 model, compared to the 2017 model, because they made a lot of changes. So first of all, this car, my one, all right, the 2012 model is possibly it is the slowest model of 86 out of all of them. So my engine is completely bone stock, right? I mean, I've put a air intake on it, but it makes no difference. Maybe a tiny bit, but barely anything to even take notes of. Based on that, I'm going to be basing this off of all of the stock figures that I could find. The horsepower of this car, right? That's 201 horsepower, not a lot. Compared to the 2017 model, that's 205. Also bear in mind that the 2017 model is a BRZ, so slight difference, but the torque of this car, of my one, is 151 foot-pounds of torque. On the 2017 BRZ, that is 156 foot-pounds. The 0 to 60 of my car is an astonishing 7.6 seconds. And for the 2017 model BRZ, to be honest, I couldn't actually find a direct answer. The lowest that I found was 6.2 seconds, and the slowest that I found was 7 seconds. So it's somewhere between 6.2 seconds and 7 seconds. And the top speed remains the same on both. As you can see, between 2012 and 2017, they hardly made any improvement at all. But Subaru did try and improve things a little bit by adding what they called the performance package, which, if you ask me, shouldn't really be called the performance package because it doesn't add much performance. Let's discuss that. With these cars, this is obviously the Toyota version, the GT86. However, Subaru wanted to bring out a performance model or performance package for their 2017 Subaru BRZ. What that included was, you're going to have to ignore how dirty my car is, it's disgusting, I know. So the brake calipers and brake discs, they improved them by adding Brembo calipers and larger brake discs. So you've got more stopping power, but you can't go much quicker. The SACHs, or SACHS, performance shock absorbers for better ride quality and for better cornering, which was never really an issue in the first place. But I suppose if it adds a bit of quality, then happy days, even though most people take them off and put coilovers on it anyway. So, and they also brought out some special, they're really special, gloss black 17-inch wheels, which if you've seen them, they're not really much to look at. Engine-wise, they wanted to increase the performance by doing a bit of friction reduction, which included of new valves, a new camshaft, new cylinder heads, an aluminium intake manifold, and a redesigned exhaust manifold. All of which would only give you an increase of 4 horsepower and 5 foot-pounds of torque, which, if you ask me, doesn't really justify calling it a performance package, because 4 more horsepower and 5 more torque, that's hardly a performance upgrade, especially if it didn't even reduce the 0 to 60 time any considerable amount. Despite all this, there are aftermarket companies which do make turbo kits and supercharged kits for these cars, which, if you're not worried about setting off the balance of the car or setting off the lower center of gravity or anything like that, they will give you one hell of an increase in horsepower, which is ultimately what everyone wants with these cars. The engine on these cars, they are very slow. I mean, they are very slow, because it's not the car itself. I think, personally, this is a very fast looking car. Well, maybe not a very fast looking car, but and ultimately it looks like a nice, fast sports car. You know, this is the sort of car where if you didn't know anything about it, you would look at it and expect at least like 400 brake horsepower or something like that, because they look sleek, they look good, they look like a sports car. And ultimately they are a sports car. They just don't have the power of a sports car, which is the one thing which basically makes a sports car a sports car. One of the most common things to do to these cars is turboing or supercharging or forging the internals or giving it more horsepower in some sort of way. So surely Toyota and Subaru would see this and think, okay, we'll give it more power. And they did for the GR86. But even then, it's still not a major upgrade. So, pulling out my sheet of paper again, and I think I've got the wrong one. I do. We're going to base this off my car compared to... I've got to turn around, Jesus Christ, this is bad. So, we're going to base this off my car compared to the new GR86/BRZ. So, horsepower on my car is 201 horsepower. For the new GR86, it's 234 horsepower. So that is a 33 horsepower increase. The torque is 151 for my car, and for the new GR86 it is 184. The 0 to 60 for mine is 7.6 seconds, and for the new GR86 it is 6.3 seconds. And the top speed is still the same. Those numbers are not a massive increase. They've done what we asked. They've given the car more power, but not really. I would love to have a GR86 here and compare them with each other, but obviously I don't have a GR86, so I can't do that. The question is, would I get a GR86? Would I go from this GT86 to, and like say trade it in, for example, for the new GR86? And the answer is actually no, I wouldn't. Perhaps if they had brought the GR86 or the BRZ out with a turbo and say 300 horsepower plus or something like that, then yeah, I would actually consider it. The other thing you also have to bear in mind is all this power increase comes with an extra 0.4 of a litre on the engine. So mine currently is a 2 litre, whereas the GR86 and BRZ is a 2.4 litre. So they've upped the literage and hardly made any increase to the power at all. That just doesn't sit right with me. Now, an aftermarket turbo kit for one of these cars, specifically my car, would set you back about £5,000. That's if you went with the Fensport Evo Stage 1 and 2 turbo kit. Now, the drive-in, drive-out service, which they do, where they fit it, they map it, they do all the work for you. So you drive your car in non-turbo, naturally aspirated, and then, say, a week later, you drive out with a turbo on your car mapped and ready to go with an increase of horsepower up to 100 more horsepower. And that will set you back £4,999, £5,000, which, compared to some other cars, that is very good. But is it worth it? That's a question that you really have to ask yourself if you want one of these cars and you want it turboed. Sure, yeah, okay, you can go out and buy a second-hand one which has already been turboed and you may make some savings there. But if you buy one and it is not turboed already and you want to turbo it, you have to be prepared to spend about £5,000. And if you're wondering why I haven't turboed this yet, well, I don't have £5,000. Now, something that I just really quickly want to mention in this video, because we've just recently hit a milestone for me, and I kind of glossed over it a bit, and I apologise for that, but we just recently hit 500 subscribers on this channel. And for me, that is a massive milestone because I never thought I'd even come this far. Obviously, the main goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I am sure we will. When? I don't know. I don't know. I wanted to hit it by Christmas, but I mean, that's a few days away at this point, so it's probably not going to happen. And that's okay. That is perfectly okay. Because, like I said, I've already hit one of the major milestones which I wanted to hit for such a long time. When I started this channel 9 months ago, I think it was now, I never thought I'd even get this far, and here I am today at 541 subscribers currently, and it's incredible. It's actually incredible. You know, there's that. When I think about it, right, on my TikTok, I've got 56,000 followers, which again is an amazing feat. It's absolutely fucking awesome. And on YouTube, it is a lot harder to get subscribers and followers and things like that, because obviously on TikTok, there's a higher percentage of chance that you're going to get your video pushed out on the For You page and things like that. So it's a little bit easier. They have made it a little bit more difficult over time, but mainly it's a bit easier. Whereas on YouTube, 500 subscribers for me is incredible. Absolutely incredible, and I cannot thank you guys enough. When I sit back and I think to myself, I've got 541 people that have watched one of my videos and thought, I like this guy, and they hit subscribe, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. 541 people like what I'm trying to do here. And like I say, hopefully we can hit 1,000 subscribers even sooner than that 9 months. I've got so much content planned, especially in the new year. In the new year, we are going off. Absolutely off. And I mean, 2025 is going to be incredible, absolutely incredible. And I've got a video coming out probably this week, basically explaining everything that's going to happen in 2025 and what I am planning. It's going to be awesome. So if you want to see what I've got planned and what I've got coming up, and you want to be part of the journey and become part of a family which I'm trying to build on this channel, hit that subscribe button, because shit's about to get real. So ultimately, to end this video, we're going to answer the question, will Toyota or Subaru ever make an 86 or a BRZ with a turbo from factory? No, they won't. And that is that, basically. They've basically completely ruled it out. They're never going to do it. So that's that. If you want more power out of these cars, you've got to do one of two things. One, not get it and get something different. Or two, get an aftermarket turbo kit and spend about £5 grand. The choice is entirely yours. I'm not hating on it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good, blah, blah, blah. I'm completely neutral about it. It's entirely up to you. I'm just making this video so that you guys can see that they're never going to make one. They're never going to do it. So if you want a turbo 86 or turbo BRZ, you're gonna have to go out and do it yourself. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button. I am going to hit 1,000 subscribers. I don't know when, but I will. And I want you, the viewer, to be part of this journey. It's going to be an incredible journey. It's been incredible so far. So please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you all in the next video. Also, just one last thing, let me know in the comments what sort of content you want to see me do. I've got an incredible list of videos that I'm going to do, an incredible plan on what's going to happen in the new year, but I'm curious to know what sort of thing you want to see, whether it be me getting a specific crash damaged car or a specific project car or whatever, or giving you information about a certain car, whatever it is. Let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can get on it. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace!